I'm Andy with Competitive Cyclist, and this is the Zipp NSW wheel series. Not too long ago, the Zipp Firecrest wheel was born. They had the smoothest and most even braking surface you could find on a carbon rim. They were bomb-proof, and they were just plain fast. None of the competition came anywhere close, and I've beaten the daylights out of every model number except the 202. I didn't get a chance to own a set of Firestrike 404s because, well, frankly, I bought a brand new set of 303s literally a month before they came out. Like everybody else, I kind of thought the Firestrike technology was going to trickle into other wheel depths like Firecrest did, but much to my surprise, Zipp's Skunk Works, the Nest, had been toiling away to create something even better, the NSW series. The NSW movement started with the 808, then trickled down to the 404 and the 303, and rather than make incremental changes, Zipp just went ahead and overhauled everything in order to minimize wind resistance and maximize speed. The carbon layup was refined to reduce weight and increase stiffness. And if this were any other carbon wheel company, that'd kind of be the end of the story. But not at Zipp. The mad scientists in the Nest tweaked the ABLC dimple pattern into something entirely new for NSW called sawtooth. Long story short, when you look closely at the dimples, you'll see 12 distinct nodes across the rim surface. It'll almost look like they were painted on at random with a brush, but the net effect is that when you're in a crosswind, the gust will detach more easily from the opposite side of the wheel, leaving your bike more stable and more manageable. Another thing that's going to make your bike more manageable is the Showstopper braking surface, which is an updated version of the track that debuted on the Firestrikes. It's still embedded with silicon carbide like before, but now there's more grooves with altering depths. My first pull on the brake at a high speed was a bit unnerving. They're not quiet, but holy cow, I've never ridden any other wheel, aluminum or carbon, that provides this level of feedback and modulation at any speed. There's no pulsing and no grabbing, just an even application of the exact braking power you're trying to deliver, even if you try to deliver that power at the last second. Now, after thousands of miles and about 8 years riding nothing but Zipp wheels on practically every ride, I've never had a single issue with the hubs. Not a one. But to be honest, the hubs have always been a little vanilla. That's why I was so pumped to see the new beefed up Cognition hubs on the NSWs. The first thing you see when you look at the Cognitions is the larger hub shell, which prevents flex and helps the wheels hold their line better through corners, which they do. I bombed as many twisty 40-mile-per-hour descents as I could find, and compared to my Firecrest 303s, I noticed a substantial increase in the front wheel's ability to hold and adjust a line under pressure. But the thing you don't see is the new axial clutch mechanism in the rear hub. It's a new freewheel composed of 2 machine rings and a handful of magnets instead of springs and pawls. The result is a rear wheel that engages faster when you pedal it and coasts longer when you don't. My love affair with Zipp started with a set that had carbon rims and an aluminum braking surface. I think that was about 7 or 8 years ago. I rode and raced those wheels nearly every day for a year straight, and I never broke a spoke, dented a rim, or had a single issue with the hubs. The carbon rims looked showroom new even after a year of abuse, and I can't remember one trip to the truing stand. The same is true of every Firecrest wheel set I've owned, and my current 303s have been through the ringer both on and off the road. I got to test the new 404 version of the NSW about a month after they hit the market, and as a carbon wheel junkie, I gotta tell you, they're flawless. The rear hub engages like 100 little bolts of lightning every time you pedal. The front wheel feels as stable as my 303 in a crosswind. And the new carbon layup means they get up to speed and climb like a set of tubulars. And man, as long as you have the legs, you can just pick a speed and hold it. And like every other pair of Zipps I've ever owned, the NSWs ride like a pair of hand-built wheels should. They're not harsh or unforgiving, and they're tough enough to use every day of the week. If you have questions about Zipp's NSW wheels, please give us a call or send an email to sales@competitivecyclist.com.